The Chicago Bears make several moves on the offensive line after the waiving of Nate Davis. Plus, Matt Eberflus isn't necessarily committed to the starting quarterback position, even though Cole Kmet denies that vets push for Tyson Bagent. We're going to talk about all and more on today's live stream on the most recent episode of Chicago Bears Central.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bears Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bears news and content.
What's going on, Bears fans? Welcome to a new episode of Chicago Bears Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related. I'm the host here, Haize, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Chi Bears Central on every social media platform we happen to be on. With that being said, wanted to bring you guys the updates that we got so far. So the Chicago Bears made a few roster moves after the waiving of Nate Davis. They have signed Jake Curran, offensive tackle Jake Curran, to the 53-man roster. He had previously been on the practice squad. He had been elevated to the practice squad on the game-to-game roster. Keep in mind, he did play in the preseason for the Chicago Bears as well. And so we'll see what happens there. He's previously played when we had injuries to Braxton Jones and others, which did get some positive signs from that as well. Darnell Wright, Braxton Jones, Karen Amagaje all did practice today for the Chicago Bears. So we got some forward movement on getting players a little bit back more healthy. It looks like Tevin Jenkins did not practice today as well. So still missing Tevin Jenkins, but with Braxton Jones, Darnell Wright, those guys getting back to practice, it's a big sign. Jake Curran, he's an okay depth piece, right? Nothing amazing when it comes down to that. But the Bears also did sign former third-round pick Ricky Stromberg as well to the practice squad. He was released by the Washington Commanders. And he did have a top 30 visit with the Chicago Bears back in 2023 during that process. So this is the Bears again taking maybe another shot at a guy who was pretty decently drafted offensive lineman to see what they can do and develop with him. If I'm not mistaken, I think Ricky Stromberg was on the practice squad at one point this offseason or on the training camp roster at some point this offseason. Maybe I just talked about him as being a possibility. So, but Ricky Stromberg was drafted in the third round, 97th overall. He actually was one of the more kind of favorable picks in that 2023 draft. That may have been where I covered him at. I know I've covered him before on this channel, but it may be when the Bears brought him in for a top 30 visit before the 2023 draft. So this is another guy who's an offensive lineman. He was one of the top prospects in that draft. He was actually ranked as the number 4 center overall. Coming into that draft as a prospect. So, we'll see. He's only played 4 games his rookie season in 2023. He was let go of the Commanders at the start of the season. And so, of course, there has to be some questions on what the health is looking like with him. But, if you look at some of the draft comps for him, they said, hey, he's a center prospect with enough athleticism and strength to be considered scheme independent. Early impressions can leave elevators unimpressed with his lack of control at times. However, his process and results should grow quickly. And so we'll see what happens there, right, man? I mean, I don't think there's anything that necessarily saves the Bears' offensive line this offseason, but we'll see what it comes down to when it comes down to it. So, it is what it is. But yeah, so there's that aspect of it. And overall, some changes, not really anything major, not anything that should have been unexpected. The Bears are always going to do something when it comes down to that offensive line after waiving Nate Davis. It left a roster spot open on that 53-man roster. And so Jake Curran is going to step into that role for the Chicago Bears. Now, some other things happened with the quarterback situation, the conversation around it. Matt Eberflus had a press conference today, and he was asked about the potential of maybe sitting Caleb Williams. And the answer, while nothing to say that they're necessarily looking at benching Caleb Williams, when he was asked, he said that the situation is week to week. But he did also say that he feels like the best thing for Caleb Williams is to get reps in game as he goes through a roller coaster in his first season. So, we'll see what happens with that. So, I mean, Matt Eberflus did say he feels the best thing for Caleb Williams is to get those in-game reps, which is really good. But, overall, it's still a non-committed answer. But I don't expect anything crazy to happen from it. At the end of the day, it's going to be what it's going to be. So Caesar is in the building. What's going on, brother? Thank you for starting on time, gang. Listen, life be lifing, bro. But yeah, so there's that aspect of it. But then we also got Cole Kmet, right? And Cole Kmet was asked by reporters about veterans asking for Tyson Bagent to start over Caleb Williams, and Cole Kmet gave an adamant that did not happen. That did not happen, is exactly what Cole Kmet said. So I know there are going to be people, especially people who are either Bagent baddies or just don't like Caleb Williams, that say, oh, well, what is he supposed to say? But Cole Kmet has been somebody who I think his voice is growing. And he, not to say that, I think he would give a more non-answer rather than adamantly say that did not happen if it did happen. That's my personal opinion. I'm not going to argue with anybody who feels like maybe it did happen. I guess we'll ultimately see, right, what happens with it. Best thing for Caleb Williams is getting Ben Johnson as head coach, not Eberflus. I mean, well, that we have to get through the season to get there, brother. That's definitely not going to happen in the middle of the season. Not arguing with you on that one because I agree with you, but that won't happen at least until the end of the season. So maybe we'll get some luck in March or something like that where that happens. But we'll continue to monitor it and see what's going to happen there. But overall, I just wanted to bring those quick updates. Offensive line changes, not to be unexpected there. Non-committal answer from Matt Eberflus. Matt Eberflus, I don't think Matt Eberflus even commits to being Matt Eberflus every single day. I really think that Matt Eberflus wakes up in hopes that he's going to be T.I. some days. Like, I fully believe that Matt Eberflus bumps Pimp Squad Click regularly as he gets ready. He still thinks he can be T.I. I don't think that he's committed to anything in life. It's hard to be committed when you know the team's not committed to you. So there you go. There you go. But as far as Cole Kmet adamantly saying that did not happen, as far as vets requesting that Tyson Bagent start, I mean, listen, the headlines are going to be the headlines. That's just what it comes down to. You're going to have your fans as well who don't really pay attention to games, who are more storyline watchers than actual football watchers. That happens in every single sport. You're going to get your writers that need their clicks and need their articles, which is going to lead to things like this, and it is what it is. So, it is what it is when it comes down to it. Willie says the Bears hoodie look like the Bulls. Yeah, listen, if y'all haven't noticed by now, usually if I cop something for the Bears, for the Bulls, I cop the same one for the Bears. So yes, it's made by the same company. Wild Collective is the one that makes it. This is the one. Remember when I said I was confused? This one has the Bears on the back. So the Bulls one does not have the Bulls on the back, but the Bears one doesn't. So the Bulls one has Chicago on the hood. This doesn't have that, but it does have. Let's see, y'all can see it does have the bear on the back. So really dope. Really, I honestly wish they would have put that design on the front of the hoodie, to be quite honest. But this is honestly, these two hoodies are some of the most comfortable hoodies that I own, and they're like insulated. So like it keeps you really warm. For those that don't know, I keep the studio really cold because I have so much equipment going on. There's like 6 lights in this bitch. Like on the other side of the studio, there's 3 on this side of the studio. So it's really hot in here. And so for the equipment not to overheat, I keep the studio really, really cold. I have a feeling we will rally and Poles will fall for the trap and keep him as head coach. Just a sinking feeling I have. Hey, I'm not going to act like that's not a possibility. That is definitely a possibility. And I hate to say that is one, but it really is a possibility. How y'all feel about the stadium in the old Michael Reese spot? I love it for Bronzeville. Listen, the thing that I'll say is this, man. The thing I'll say is this. I just get the new stadium built. Like at this point, I really don't care where the stadium is. Like the Bears, the fan base, everybody deserves a new stadium. So I think and hope that there is a new stadium that's built, that we get it done as soon as possible, and it comes down to it. So we'll see what happens there. Oh, I just read something that almost dropped my heart. I thought I read that Jaquan Brisker was ruled out for week 11 already. I was about to say, God damn, already? But no, they said not yet. Haize, Bulls, and Drip Gear second. Oh, yeah, second to none. Second to none when it comes down to it. It's, that is what it is, man. But all right, y'all. I just wanted, like I said, I wanted to bring this. We got some good comments. We need to draft an O-line in the first round and get the top 2 offensive linemen in free agency. Well, top 2 offensive linemen could be pretty pricey, and the Bears don't have a lot of wiggle room when it comes to salary cap. So I'll say this: the Bears have a first and 2 seconds. Those all need to go. You can get starting offensive linemen at all 3 of those picks. That's what I want to see. Then maybe you keep Ryan Bates if he can stay healthy, right? Maybe you do that. You keep Matt Pryor as some veteran depth pieces. But I think that the Bears should heavily invest in the offensive line. I think our first three picks in the draft should all go to the O line as of right now. That's my personal opinion, and I don't expect everyone to agree with that one. I would love a new stadium if the Bears take out a loan and don't ask for public funding. There are more important things that Chicago needs. Well, here's the thing, though. I get what you're saying in that. I get what you're saying. What the proposal was, I forgot. I forgot how much of that was public funding. I forgot. It wasn't much though, was it? I can't remember. I have to go back over the details of that. But all right, y'all. I love you guys, man. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you guys are following us at Shy Bear Central. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns. ChicagoBearCentral@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, 773-270-2799. We're the number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related. And I'll see you lovely and beautiful people tomorrow. Chi-Town up, Bear down. Love you guys.